Right, so good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kay, and I'm going to be your host for today's event. So, just a quick flow of this event. We're going to have um, a speaker, and the topic of our webinar is physical wellness and health financial wellness. So, to start, let me just share my screen and show you what Another Rose is all about. All right. So that's Another Rose LLC. Don't forget to subscribe to our social media accounts as shown on the screen a while ago. And our website is www.anotherrose.com. So without further ado, let's jump on to the main event. And I'm going to introduce to you our speaker. But before that, let's just talk about their business. It's taxdoctors.com, but they're spelled as taxdrz.com. And they offer different services for tax. So that would include personal services and business services. And our speaker for today is a very amazing person, and I can't believe that we're very grateful to have him here today because he's not just well versed about taxation and financial wealth, but also as well as physical health, which are actually two of the most important things that we are promoting on Another Rose. And so our speaker is a graduate of Bachelor of Arts in Accounting, and this was in Howard University. He took his master's degree in taxation and a certification in financial planning from the University of Miami. And while he was in college, Mr. Gay played basketball and trained. So amazing, right? Athlete and then a math superstar. So I don't know, really great. It's an amazing combination. So for the past years, John Gay, our speaker today, has actually helped a lot of people in their different financial, like personal services, business services, among others. And today we're going to learn more about how he was able to achieve this and also maybe some tips, especially for our men aged 40 and above, or even women, on how to manage their physical wellness and also their financial wellness. So let's give it up for Mr. John Gay. All right. Hi,
Thank you.
John. How are
Thanks.
you doing
Hello. Hello.
today?
All is well. I'm very blessed to be here.
All right. We're very happy to have you. I mean, honestly, it's actually a great combination because sometimes, we always have this kind of a connotation that if you're math smart, you're not really like, you're kind of the nerd type of person. There's
Yeah,
always that,
yeah.
general idea. So it's actually like you're kind of one of the 10% of the population. So you're kind of an exception.
Well, math has always been my forte. I've loved math from the very beginning. And actually, one of my mom's friends, she just mentioned to me, "Hey, John, since you love math so much, you might want to become an auditor." So, that was a monumental moment of life. And then I spoke to one of my guidance counselors one day, and she just pretty much told me, these are all the professions that make money in math. Accounting, stuck to me. And from that point on, I had a goal to achieve. So, it just kept me on the path. But I always feel that math is how the world works. It's not about English. The world operates in numbers like the matrix. You just got to see it.
That's a cool thought. Like I haven't thought of that way. This is a little bit of a personal question, but do ladies get intimidated when you go on dates and you tell them, "Hey, I'm an accountant, but I play ball." So, is this that like? It's like
Mhm.
it's a nice mixture of interest.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All
Hmm.
right, so we're going to dive down now. And so we're going to separate this. So the first few sets of questions is going to be just about physical wellness. And I mean, you can have short answers, long answers. It really depends upon you. And then the next portion of the interview and questions will be about health and financial wellness. So are you ready?
Ready.
All right. All right. So I guess the first question would be if you can simplify, like, what are the main benefits of physical wellness? I know like a lot of people already have an idea, but from your perspective, what do you think are the benefits of physical wellness?
The benefits of physical wellness, I think, is it helps with your aura. I think it helps with, when you take care of yourself, you feel better. You I think the energy that you give off to others is better. Um, you also are able to live longer. So it's just a matter of just being confident in yourself from a health perspective, which is one of the most important items of life. Because if you don't have health, there's no point of having a whole bunch of money. There's no point of having anything because you really can't use it. You gotta excuse me, my little dog is in the way.
Mhm.
He's
It's
jumping.
okay.
But health is very, very important to me. It's definitely one of the keys of life, and it's definitely needed if you want to, have longevity or have a fruitful life.
Nice. That's nice. So, what do you think would be like? I mean, how does physical activity improve a person's quality of life, like in general?
I think it helps you get more work done. You want to attack your day a little better. I notice when I'm in tax season, I'll sit behind a computer 12 hours a day, 14 hours a day. I see myself getting sluggish. On the weekends, I want to sleep a little bit more. I still find myself waking up early and working late, but I still see that you pick up a few pounds. You can't really work out like you do in the summer. So it's just something that you just have to maintain. I've been doing this for such a long time that I feel that when tax season comes, it's just a sacrifice that I attempt to make at the beginning, but it never ends up that way. And then right now, when the summer months or what have you, now I know I can pick it back up and get my life back on track when it comes to health. I also feel that
Right.
based on, you know, certain age groups or what have you, you definitely need to get that routine checkup. I'm actually in that age group where, I'm getting my blood work done. I'm getting, just my checkup because I want to be here. I want to be here longer than if I didn't get my checkup. I want to enjoy life, and life is very fun.
Nice. Nice. So just I know that it's a different physical. I mean, physical wellness is different from being mentally fit. So what is
Correct.
your kind of how do you stay mentally fit? Like I know like accounting, math, it exercises your brain, but like do you do meditation? Do you do like listening to whale sounds, ocean sounds, things like that.
It's funny you say that because, oftentimes I feel at night my brain just steady moves. It doesn't cut off sometimes. So I find myself, putting on spa music to relax me so I can go to sleep. I'm always not only I do taxes, I'm an accountant, I'm a CFO for several companies. So it's a constant struggle, or it's always an emergency that I have to deal with. And my clients' emergencies become my emergency. They don't really see it that way. Hey, John, just fix it. And we fix it. But it takes a little bit of me constantly to deal with that world. So I find myself, in the mornings after I take my son to school, I have my 30 minutes in the backyard. I have a nice backyard. I actually call it Jahamas. That's John plus Bahamas. But I spend time in the backyard. I get my little meditation on. Sometimes I walk around my neighborhood. I find myself actually, that's a form of meditating. It's a form of actually mentally laying out my day of how I want to attack it or what have you. But I know internally that it's very important for me to have my downtime as much as I have my work time, because I hear so often with people in my profession, their health is not good. So I make it my business that I'm still going to be me. I'm still going to be genuine. I'm still going to go to the bar or happy hour. Now, I don't overdo it or what have you, but I definitely have to have that me time to break away from what I do all day long.
I mean, I hear you. That's really very important to have like a me time. It doesn't really have to be a specific form of self care, but
Correct.
even just a few minutes alone, just observing the world or whatnot. And so we
Correct.
have a question, by the way, from Michelle. Like, how do you keep motivated? And is it a routine or a schedule you keep?
That's funny. One way of motivation as far as trying to keep your health together is you don't want to buy new clothes. Your clothes start getting tighter and tighter. So it's like, hey, I definitely don't want to buy new clothes, nor do I feel that I have to buy new clothes because of, my clothes are fitting a little snug or what have you. So it's a check to yourself to say, hey, it's time to get moving or stop eating so much. I was actually blessed this year that one of my assistants is actually a caterer. So for the first 3 or 4 months, or for the first 3 months of the season, she would actually prepare my food for me in the office. And I have an alarm now that makes me eat every, 3 hours. And it may not look as like it's actually working for me, but it is working for me. I kind of, brung down a little my weight. I think I'm going to, plan to do a little bit more. Hopefully by the next podcast, I'll be even slimmer and better as far as TV wise or what have you. But I make it my business to make sure I pay attention to my health.
Yeah, I mean, I get that part where you have to not buy new clothes so that you'll be motivated to stay on the same size. It
Yes.
actually is a very important thing for women, especially since, women are more into like very body sensitive, size and all that. So yeah, that's a very good point. And I didn't expect to hear that from a man. Because sometimes men are we
We
already
don't
have
care.
this idea, yeah, like they don't
Mhm.
really care a lot,
Yeah,
yeah.
we don't care.
So there's also another question here, like
Mhm.
how necessary is like physical fitness? I know that you already have answered this a while ago about how important it is, but when you talk about physical fitness, we're talking about like routinary exercises, going to the gym and all that stuff. And right now people are kind of just post pandemic, I guess, that
Right.
they were stuck at home. Everyone is gaining weight from all the food intake. So I guess
Right.
my question would be like, um how necessary is it, like going to the gym or like just spending 15 minutes of workout a day?
It's definitely necessary. Just from the standpoint of from the mental perspective of it, you have to have that release. A lot of us have these jobs where we're under a lot of pressure.
Mm.
you have to break away or disconnect at some point. So just for you having that mental wellness is definitely something that's worth the 15 minutes per day doing something, and I can sit here and preach it. And my schedule, really hasn't allowed me to do a lot of that lately. But, my heart is pretty much eager to get back going. So I'm actually starting back up on Monday, getting my routine in regards of my 15 minutes, 30 minutes or an hour, every day as far as the wellness and working out.
Nice. That's nice. There's a question about, maintaining a good physical fitness or physical like wellness. For you, like how do you maintain it? I mean, if it's not tax season, like it's already off tax season, like how do you maintain it? Like do you do 3 times a week, 5 times a week? Do you have like a food plan, a meal plan or something? Maybe you can give us examples.
Yes, I do. I do a place called Hot Works. It's like a indoor spin class in a sauna. I do that. I normally do 2 classes for 30 minutes. There's a lot of local entrepreneurs in my area that are trainers and have gym classes. So I also like to, you know, not necessarily sponsor, but support them. And I always attend their classes. So working out to me is fun. Working out is fun. So for me to find something to do is not hard. I also walk the dog when I have a little more free time. Walking around my development actually takes me an hour and 15 minutes. So that's a lot of hard work that keeps the heart going and keep the blood pumping, so to speak. So, wellness for me and working out for me is fun. It's just sad that during the season or the height of tax season, it's just difficult for me to get back out and to do it because it's just so much work for me to do. But now that it's over, actually tax season is not over. It's still a whole bunch of work to do. But now that it's calmed down, I can start focusing more on the wellness side.
Nice. That's nice. So like on the diet side of things, because Michelle said like there are some benefits in doing like frequent small meals versus doing like 3 meals a day, but on huge portions. What's your
Mm-hmm.
take on that? Like if you
Oh, it
prefer
works.
something.
No, it works. Like I said, I did the alarm on my phone for every 3 hours for it to go
Mhm.
off. So I'm just trying to do the smaller portions now. More of the boiled eggs, bacon in the morning, so to speak. Not having the McDonald's breakfast all the time. I started to pay attention to what I eat throughout the day. Try to cut down on my soda intake. More water. Apparently, nothing is good for you anymore. No turkey bacon. Crystal Light is not good for you. So, this is a struggle trying to find certain things that help. But, food intake is definitely important. It's the key. If you go, all the trainers tell me you can work out 100 hours a week, but if you don't eat right, is useless.
Yeah. They say that 80% of the entire health fitness like business or industry is actually based on healthy diet meals. So I
Correct.
mean like yeah, 20% is just workout, the rest happens in the kitchen. That's what they always say.
Yeah.
um
Yeah.
so just a quick question as well. Like I know that you're a very busy person. Do you use calendars for like a notification at the start of your day to work out, or do you have those kind of things like recurring tasks going on your calendar? Hey, John, go out and exercise or something like that.
My life is a little different. I wake up, I harass my secretaries, and I ask them every morning, send me my schedule. So they'll send me my schedule, and I just see what I have to attack every day. We plan my days, or we'll plan my weeks while I'm in the office. But at the same time, I just know every day is busy. Every day is going to be 100 people, so to speak, that I need to deal with, or or try to, complete or talk to. So, I've been blessed. My business could have been the other way, where I'm sitting on my hands waiting for opportunities or what have you. But in my particular case, it's just how much can I complete in a day. So it's a lot of work. I work 6 days a week since January. I had one day off, so this is like my first Saturday off this whole year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I actually went to a track meet this morning to see my son run or what have you. Now I'm on a Zoom call with you all. And, it still feels good to be out of the office, but to be outside and to see the sunshine right now, that's a plus. That's something that I haven't, been used to, because every time I leave at night is nighttime. So it's the little simple things for me as far as health, wellness, or mental wellness that I'm happy about right now. So as far as doing a schedule, like, John, you have to do this and you have to do that. No, I don't put that much pressure on myself.
That's really nice, especially coming from you, because you're a business owner, you're a CEO, and like a lot of people would like to plan their day or even plan their month or year ahead of time. So you just go day by day, and all right, let me just take this off my list, complete this stuff next day, and then next day,
Yeah.
and that's actually a very good thing, because a lot of people are trying to be more goal oriented and too much consumed with
Right.
planning. They tend to forget, living in the present. So that's
Right.
actually a very good, fresh, what you call this, fresh
Well, thank
perspective. So that's
thank you.
actually amazing, really, really.
Mhm.
Okay, so now that all of the questions about physical wellness are done, if you were to give like a quick advice to whoever will be watching this in the future, maybe you have some like 3 tips to get them starting on their physical wellness journey.
Well, I like to say, number one, and speaking with Miss Rose, CEO of Another Rose, entrepreneurship is very important to me. It's one of the biggest things that I feel that for Americans, it's the American way. I just feel that I see so many clients in my office with so much potential, but just scared to take that first step as far as starting a business, or, just, no, I don't have a business, but you have a hobby that you like doing. You just got to figure out ways to make money from it. And I don't know if it's because of my background of being an accountant or what have you. Business to me and entrepreneurship is fun. Finding out ways to generate income on your own is fun. And when you're able to do that and become your own boss, I always say that the freedom world is priceless. Unfortunately, I have certain thoughts that I try not to say because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings, but I just say you can make $1 million working a 9 to 5. You can make $1 million working a 9 to 5 and not be happy, but you can have your own business and make $50,000 a year and be the most joyfulest person that's around. So it's to each his own, and you have to just find your own way or your own method. But I just feel that more people need to, touch into their entrepreneurial spirit, because it's fun. To generate your own income is fun. And you have to believe in yourself. You got to have just a little bit of faith to believe in yourself and to take that. You never know where the end might be. So that's one thing for me. Real estate is big for me. I definitely think that's a tip, that if you can purchase you some real estate, I think that's it's never let anyone down. It's never let me down. I think that's another tip for us. Don't start asking me about the NFT world or the Bitcoin, because I don't know about that, or I'm not privy enough to figure out what actually is going on in this made up world, so to speak. But real estate, I definitely think is a tip. Entrepreneurship is definitely another tip. And not just starting your business, but how to structure it the proper way. You often hear everyone get an LLC, but that may not be for you. So you got to talk to your accountant. You got to talk to your financial circle to figure out what's the perfect structure that works for you. Do you have kids? Is it business that you're doing? Is it service related? Are you buying product? So you just can't go off of what your peers are saying in regards to this is you got to get an LLC. This is what you need to do. It has to be structured perfectly for you. So those are just a few of little tips that I can just think of right now that can help everyone.
Right. Thank you so much. We haven't ended yet, by the way. So we're just moving on to the financial wellness side of this webinar. And we're going to ask again a new set of questions that's a little bit relating health and wellness, but this time it's more of financial wellness. So I guess the first question would be, let's take a question from Michelle. So in this financial times, what is your best advice to not worry about money? Like, what should you do to keep yourself grounded?
Money is a tool. Money only gives you, maybe different options that you had in the past. You shouldn't worry about money, so to speak, like that. If you work, you get compensated. If you don't like where you work or you don't think you're getting compensated enough, find another job. But, business entrepreneurship is like in a league of itself for me. I guess with me being an accountant for so long, I don't look at it from a money standpoint, which I probably should a little more, but just the freedom side of it is worth more than how much money you make for me. But I understand for those that may not have money or, may not have savings, it could be important, but you just have to find that tool or find that thing that you want to put your money in and invest. You have to develop your own revenue streams. You can't sit back and wait for, your employer to pay you or to make you rich. It's a cap on how much they can give you. They're never going to give you $1 billion if the company doesn't make $1 billion. So it's a matter of you generating different type of revenue streams, or whenever you can do better, you can have 10 wins in a day, meaning don't put your money in a regular checking account, put in a money market account. That's a win. Instead of when you get the cash out, don't get the today fee, wait the Tuesday, instead of paying the extra $3 or $4. That's a win. So having money to me is a constant movement in your mental, that you have to just think that all your moves that you make is going to have repercussions as far as how it affects your accounts. So, it's more to me on the side of business as opposed to money. My whole life is about money. And it's not that it's the greed of it. I have an accounting degree. It's my profession. So, I think I look at it a little different.
All right. Why do you think that financial wellness is also important to the general, like the health of a person? Because, sometimes people say that money doesn't matter, or money doesn't buy happiness, or whatever, all those cliche things. But we always have to understand that financial wellness is part of our lives. Like, what do you think? Why is it important to a person's health?
I don't think money is important to a person's health. I think, like I said, money gives you more availability to different things. Money doesn't. I'm just, I think a rich person or a wealthy person will answer this different from a person that don't have. But then you have to look in to see why this person don't have. Money is a tool. Money is a tool, but if you do not do what's necessary to create your own wealth, and you sit there and wait for individuals to give it to you, then you might as well continue look for a job until somebody's going to pay you what you want. So if you're not making enough money, then you got to continue to look for a job. I mean, there's no other options out there for you besides believing in yourself. So once you believe in yourself and you decide to start your own business and put in those years of sweat and blood into your business, then you can dictate how much money you get out of it. And I just like having options. I work hard. I work the 6 days a week. I used to get in arguments with the wife. You working too much? Yeah, I'm going to work because I'm not going to worry about something happen and you coming to me or my kids coming to me, saying, Daddy, they need this or need that. I need to be able to provide. So you have to be steadfast in your belief and go after what you need to go after. And that's just what it is.
That's really nice because having a lot of options, like what Michelle is just saying now, that having options are really a good idea. Like it's nice to have other income streams and revenue streams. So with
Definitely.
that being said, how do you feel about investing? Like it might be stocks or anything else. Like what do you think about investing?
Oh, investing is key. Investing is key as far as, like I said, generating those revenue streams. It could be stocks. It could be your 401k. It could be all these simple wins that I discussed. You should be talking to your human resource department. Hey, do you have child dependent care items where I can get it tax free? Are you in your 401k? Do you know your 401k? When can you retire? Can you retire at 20 years, 25 years, 30 years? How much is my pay going to be if I leave now versus if I leave 10 years from now? I'm getting ready to start this business. I think I can maintain myself if I'm getting X amount of dollars. But you haven't done the research to figure out when you can actually retire. All you really need is a little bit of insurance or a little bit of help as far as your check from your previous job and get out there and go. But I think people just I've seen it too often where people are just afraid to take that step. I also see that COVID has allowed people to take that step. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people are forced into entrepreneurship from the pandemic. And I see it in my office where, I guess they're giving me more work to do because they have challenged themselves or have been put in a position to challenge themselves moving forward in life. So it's good and bad with the pandemic, but at the end of the day, you definitely got to push yourself and you got to believe in yourself. You got to be able to invest in yourself. We invest into stocks or in all these businesses or whatever. Why not invest in yourself? Why not invest in that idea that you have? There's no guaranteed wins out here. Put the $5,000 towards your belief and let's see what happens. And I just think a lot of people are afraid. But I also feel with me, I'll tell it, I'm 46 years old. I've been my own boss since 22. So I don't see it any other way. Taxes or accounting is one thing for me, but, I have a government contract company. I have a landscaping company. We don't do residential, we do commercial, but it's all about creating revenue streams. So I just love business. I love
Yeah, I mean, I can sense that you have a lot of business.
I can't say it enough.
That's actually a very good investing in yourself, because when the pandemic hit, like a lot of people were like not going out, and
Right.
I mean not just going out, but like they were depressed. They were kind of
Right.
in a place where they weren't ready. So investing in oneself is really helpful. Like it's just something that people should do, even if it's not a pandemic, or even if it's just a regular day. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So the next question would be, do you save money, and what do you think about saving? Because I mean, not a lot of people can save money, but I know there's going to be like 5% of your income put into savings. Like, what do you think about it?
Oh, saving is definitely good. You don't want to just spend all your money, but saving is definitely good. Is there a formula that I use for saving? No. My thing is work as hard as you can, make what you can, and then make the plan. I don't have a thing about I need to save 10% of what I make or what have you. And I just think my beliefs on a lot of these subjects is because I've been working for myself for so long. I've been doing this for over 20 years now. And I am aware that I started at a very, very young age. But when it comes to saving, I just try to build my bank account bank account as much as or as high as possible, and then I create the plan. Now, if it has, money in there, then I look at different opportunities. Maybe it's time for me to go to the bank to refinance. Maybe it's time for me to look for a short sale, or maybe it's time for me to purchase another property, so to speak, because, I look at properties as my bank accounts. They're the only ones that appreciate and value the way that I want them to. Banks pay less than 1%. You could take that same amount of money, buy you a $200,000 house, and watch it be worth $250 next year. So I just look at opportunities. You master your opportunities, and you create your own savings, and then you can create your own retirements.
That's really nice. I mean, you don't really have to stick to 80-20 rule or anything like that. It's just like you really have to save money. I mean, it's for the future. What else is it for?
Right.
So now let's go to another question that a lot of people are actually facing. Like they want to buy something expensive, but they're kind of having doubts. Like they have the money for it, but what do you do when you have to make an expensive purchase?
What do you mean expensive purchase? Is it a necessity? Is it for fun?
I think it's a want. It's a want.
A want.
Yeah.
Well,
because some people are in a dilemma when making these purchases, but they have the money for it. It's just like, should I buy it or something like that?
I'm not one of those guys that tell you, hey, you made this money, don't spend it. I want you to spend your money. I want you to enjoy your money. You have to make a calculated move as far as how you want to spend your money. So if you have it, or if you're getting ready to retire, I tell all of my clients, spend some on you. Don't leave it all to your kids. Enjoy life. So whatever's going to do to bring you joy or bring you pleasure is something that you need to do. We get so caught up in, I gotta save, I'm gonna leave this for my kids, and you live a miserable life. What's the point? You have to be free. You have to find ways. You have to find your own joy. You have to find things that make you happy. So just don't do it recklessly. Make a plan. If you're gonna spend it next year, then that's fine. If you want to spend it this year, that's fine. But I'm not that guy who tells my client, hey, you got to be careful, don't, you got to save all this money. I want you to save. Don't get me wrong. I still use my accounting traits when I deal with my clients, but you also need to enjoy what you work hard for. I'm definitely a believer in
that. That's a very good point. Yeah, you have to enjoy. Of course, that's a hard-earned money, and you really have to enjoy it like a few times a year or something. So what do you think about how do you assess that a person has already reached kind of the financial fitness, like the financial stability? What are the factors that you would look in a client or in a person when, gauging if he has already reached a financial fitness or financial wellness?
I just think it has a lot to do with, can you move the way you move? Can you move the way you want to move? Can you take those vacations that you want to take? Can you put your kids through college? Can you plan to buy that vehicle that you actually want? It may not be this year, but you can still create the plan to get the vehicle. So financial stability for me has many different meanings, or many different ways that you can be treated as a success. It doesn't matter if you have that $1 million in your account. You may have 10,000 in your account, but you may not have a mortgage. Your house may be paid for. So it varies to each individual. It's different. You got to excuse me. I'm trying to make sure I don't cut off on you guys. It's different experiences. It's different ways that you have to create your own, or what is financial success for you? It could be, like I said, you put your kid through school. You able to take care of your parent. You able to take that vacation once a year. You're able to retire and get $2,000 a month because that's all you need. So it's not a matter of you being a millionaire or a billionaire. It's about comfort. It's about financial wellness, just what this seminar is about. But you have to dictate what that means to you. Nobody else can dictate that. I think for me, it's more of just being at peace. I have a vision of living in an island somewhere under a tree. I have a vision of having a ceremony for my phone on the water, like a funeral, and I want to throw it in the ocean. So my dreams or goals as far as what means that I have created or generated my financial goals is totally different from everyone else. I just want to make sure that my kids are taken care of and I have enough to live off of. You know, I don't want to be extravagant or super extravagant, but it's just enough for me. And that's all that matters for me.
That's really nice because sometimes a lot of people hire these financial planners for themselves and taking all of this advice from different people without really understanding themselves, like what do I really want to achieve in the next 10 years. So that's really
Definitely.
important. Like you have to identify what you want for the future, and once you hit that goal, I guess that's already success. Like a success for person A is different for person B, person C. So that's a really great perspective.
Now, I do believe making sure you have your team in order. You know, like we have financial advisors on the team. We have people that incorporate you. But as I mentioned earlier, it's all about creating the wins. Continual wins for you can get you to where you're trying to be. You know, I'm not, I say all that, but it's not like I'm just out here spending without even looking at my account or looking for sales of things that I want or before I make that car purchase or that house purchase, that I study the market a little bit or what have you. It's just making calculated risks. So, I do believe, like you said, person A is different from person B, person C, and everyone has their own goals, but you can still make, your plan as simple as possible or as great as possible when you have the correct team and the correct things behind you.
Indeed, yeah. You must have like the right support when you make all of these decisions. At least someone who can really show you the pros and the cons when you make all of these decisions. Especially if you have like people relying on you. Because if you're just like a self-sufficient person, sometimes you can just risk and play around with what you have. But it's really different if there's a lot of people you're supporting, like kids, like your kids.
Right.
So.
Right.
Yeah. So we have a question that's not really related to financial wellness, but since you're a business owner, I'm pretty sure you've encountered some disappointments before. So how do you handle disappointments when, things don't come together? You have a plan and it doesn't go through, but, how do you handle that?
Just like anyone else, you're gonna be sad, just like anyone else. And as I look back over life, there's a lot of businesses that I try to start that didn't work out. But I also feel that I've been put in this position as far as being my own boss for so long that I have to figure out ways to generate my own income. So that's going to come with some losses. But right now, from the outside looking in, I'm sure people think that I've been winning more than losing, but it doesn't necessarily mean that. It just means that I think I believe in myself a little bit more than others. So, you're going to have those losses, tough times come, whether you're rich, poor, or what have you. You just got to pick yourself up and be mentally tough and keep it moving. That's it. Things are going to happen. It's just how you deal with them determines what happens moving forward.
Yes, you have to have the right attitude. I guess that's like, people need to recognize and acknowledge that they failed in something, but it should not stop them. Like there's always plan B up to plan Z. That's what the alphabets are for, I guess. But, we have to be very positive. Like yes, you can fail, you can be sad about it today, and then tomorrow you have to think about what can I do? What did I learn from that experience, and how can I use those experiences to like move
Pick
forward?
yourself up. Pick yourself up
Yes,
and keep
correct.
moving.
Yeah. So I guess I've covered all of our questions, which is really nice. And
No problem.
just before we end, we would like to, personally thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Michelle sends her appreciation because, this was kind of a bit of a tightly scheduled event, but we're
Yes.
really grateful because we've learned a lot from you. And so now, just before we're going to really end and formally close this event, we would like to share again the business of another rose, and hopefully everyone who's on Zoom today. For our 8 participants, if you can also share and follow our socials, and of course, oh, by the way, John, I almost forgot. We would love to follow you on your socials, and if you have like, just drop them on the Zoom chat for us to
Okay.
follow, and we will help in promoting as well your business. So,
Thank you.
yeah,
It's been a
definitely.
real
Let me just
pleasure. I
share my
appreciate it.
screen. Oh, yeah, we really thank you so much for this. I mean, this is really enlightening. And let me just share my screen for a bit, and then we will formally end this event.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gay. It was a pleasure.
No problem. Anytime.